August 12, 1985. It was the eve of Japan's Obon holiday, a traditional time when millions of families traveled to reunite with loved ones. Japan Airlines Flight 123, a Boeing 747 SR packed with 509 passengers and 15 crew members, took off from Tokyo's Haneda Airport, bound for Osaka. What should have been a routine short domestic flight quickly descended into an absolute nightmare. Just 12 minutes into the flight, as the aircraft reached cruising altitude, a sudden explosion tore through the rear of the plane. Flight 123 suffered a catastrophic tail section failure. For 32 agonizing minutes, the pilots fought a desperate, heroic battle to keep the crippled giant airborne in what became the longest, most terrifying struggle in commercial aviation history. Tragically, the plane crashed into the dense ridges of Mount Takamagahara. With 520 lives lost, it remains the deadliest single aircraft accident in global aviation history. The scale of the disaster shook the nation to its foundation, forcing Japan into a profound period of deep reflection regarding its transportation safety, corporate responsibility, and the true human cost of technological failure.
To prevent such a disaster from ever happening again, investigators from Japan and the United States launched a meticulous investigation into the ruins of Flight 123. This chapter explores the chilling anatomy of a structural failure that began 7 years before the fatal flight. In 1978, the same aircraft had suffered a tail strike accident during a landing at Osaka. The resulting damage required a repair to the rear pressure bulkhead, the critical internal dome that seals the pressurized cabin from the unpressurized tail. The investigation revealed that the repair, conducted by Boeing technicians, was improperly executed. Instead of using a single continuous splice plate to secure the damaged metal, technicians used 2 separate plates, which concentrated the immense structural stress of cabin pressurization onto a single row of rivets. Over thousands of subsequent flights, the metal grew fatigued, developing microscopic cracks that went completely unnoticed during routine inspections. On August 12th, the weakened bulkhead finally ruptured. Pressurized air exploded into the tail section with such violence that it tore away the aircraft's vertical stabilizer, the tail fin. Crucially, the explosion severed all 4 of the plane's redundant hydraulic control lines. In an instant, the pilots were left with absolutely no control over the wing flaps or rudders. Relying solely on alternating engine thrust to guide the banking plane, the flight crew fought an incredibly brave but ultimately futile battle against gravity and an uncontrollable aircraft. The sheer scale of the disaster sent shockwaves through the political and social fabric of Japan. As details of the improper repair and delayed rescue operations came to light, public grief rapidly transformed into profound national anger. This chapter analyzes the immense fallout that reshaped Japan Airlines and redefined corporate accountability in the country. In accordance with Japan's deep-seated cultural traditions of responsibility and honor, the president of Japan Airlines, Yasumoto Takagi, stepped down from his post. Tragically, a JAL maintenance manager who had worked on the aircraft, as well as a Boeing engineer who oversaw the initial repair, took their own lives to express their deep remorse for the tragedy. The corporate culture of JAL was forced to undergo an aggressive overhaul, pivoting away from standard profitability metrics towards an absolute, uncompromising commitment to safety. Politically, the disaster triggered severe legislative changes and regulatory reforms. The Japanese government tightened its oversight of commercial aviation, rewriting maintenance protocols and introducing much stricter legal liabilities for corporate negligence. The tragedy proved that corporate accountability was not just a legal abstraction, but a matter of life and death, leaving a permanent mark on the global aviation industry. The tragedy of Japan Airlines Flight 123 remains an essential foundational case study taught in engineering universities and corporate management courses worldwide. It stands as a grim reminder of how a single human error can lie dormant for years before causing a historic catastrophe. We examine how the lessons learned from the mountain permanently altered modern aerospace maintenance and inspection standards. The crash led to global changes in aircraft design. Boeing and other manufacturers completely redesigned hydraulic systems, installing shutoff valves to ensure that even if a tail section failed, a total loss of hydraulic fluid would be impossible. Furthermore, inspection techniques were revolutionized, mandating advanced non-destructive testing methods to detect invisible metal fatigue before it can lead to structural failure. Near the crash site, Japan Airlines established the Safety Promotion Center, displaying the preserved wreckage of Flight 123's fuselage and the moving farewell letters written by passengers as the plane went down. It serves as an enduring monument to public accountability, ensuring that future generations of aviation workers never forget that human lives depend on their daily vigilance.
The tragedy of JAL 123 is a somber, essential chapter of modern history, a stark reminder that the pursuit of human progress and global connectivity demands continuous, unyielding vigilance. The 520 lives lost on that Japanese mountainside did not fade into obscurity. Instead, their legacy lives on in every safe commercial flight that takes off and lands across the globe today. As we reflect on this historic turning point in transportation history, we are left with an enduring question that challenges our modern, high-tech world. How do you assess the tragic role of catastrophic failure in driving the progress of safety within our critical infrastructure? Must humanity always pay a steep price in human lives before true accountability and engineering excellence are achieved? We want to hear your analytical perspectives on this vital chapter of history. Share your thoughts, technical insights, and reflections in the comment section below. If you found this deep dive into the lessons of aviation history valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to join us for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.